Well, the most recent game in their crosshairs is Detroit Become Human. It's the newest game from Quantic Dream, who've made Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. If you haven't played their games in the past, it's essentially like an interactive choose-your-own-adventure movie. Where the story goes and where it eventually ends, it depends on your actions. And I'm just mentioning that because it's important moving forward. So right at the center of all of this outrage, we have a Daily Mail article with the headline, it's a long one, "Abusers will get off on this stuff. Sony under fire for repulsive video game Detroit Become Human, which shows girl 10 beaten to death by her father among a host of child abuse and domestic violence acts players watch." And in the article, they feature a trailer from the game. It shows you the situation where your character's an android, you're working for a man who seems like an abusive father, and in the trailer, to show your actions have consequences, it first shows a version where the father goes upstairs after the daughter. You could move, but in this version you don't, and the father then kills his daughter. The trailer then goes back to that moment where you could do something, and then you save the little girl. Shows a version where you shoot and kill the abusive father. And after the trailer's release, there were organizations that were outraged. Dame Ranson, founder of Childline, calling the game sick and repulsive, urging Sony to either remove the scene or remove the game. Dame saying, "Violence against children is not entertainment. It's not a game. It's a real nightmare for thousands of children who have to live through these kinds of scenarios. The makers of this game should be thoroughly ashamed. I think it's perverse. Who thinks beating a child is entertainment?" Andy Burroughs of the NSPCC adding, "Any video game that trivializes or normalizes child abuse, neglect, or domestic violence for entertainment is unacceptable." Peter Saunders, the founder of the National Association of People Abused in Childhood, saying, "Abusers will get off on this stuff, and the other thing we know beyond question is that video games end up being played by children, and scarily, the proliferation of salacious and abusive images is actually encouraging violence and abuse." Tory MP Damian Collins, chairman of the Culture, Media, and Sports Select Committee, saying, "It is completely wrong for domestic violence to be part of a video game regardless of what the motivation is. Domestic violence is not a game, and this simply trivializes it. I worry that people who play this, who themselves have suffered abuse, will use this game to shape the way in which they deal with abusers. It's dangerous to plant the seed in people's mind that the way to deal with abusers is to use violence against them. It's counterproductive and could put them in even more danger."
It's clear to see that these guys have never, ever played a Quantic Dream game, ever, in their lives, ever. If you're gonna get mad at Detroit, a game that hasn't even come out yet about child abuse, because it makes you uncomfortable, you should try playing Heavy Rain or Beyond Two Souls.
Having some trouble? Didn't your mother ever warn you about accepting gifts from strangers? Say hello to Matthew. He claimed he had come to the census. Another one of those goddamn government spies.
I didn't get off my back, for Christ's sakes. Minimal editing. This is going to be a rant video, completely off topic from anything I've ever done. It's about a video game, so if you're not interested, don't fucking watch it. So I am subscribed to Philip DeFranco, and I have been for a while, and anytime that he comes out with a new video, I'll look at the title, and if it catches my interest, I'll watch it. That's normally how YouTube videos work. He made a video about Detroit Become Human, and he put that in his title, so of course, like, I'm gonna click on it. I'm a huge fan of Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain is what shaped my love for story-based games. Like, Heavy Rain was terrifying at the time that I played it. It was heart-wrenching. It made me sad. It surprised me genuinely. I loved Heavy Rain so much. And the same goes for Beyond Two Souls. I thought Beyond Two Souls was a beautiful game. It was emotional. The life or death situation that you come to in that game is just amazing. It really makes you think about life. And this game is no different. I think this game was announced at around the same time that Until Dawn was announced, and I was going crazy over both of them. But I remember being so hyped up for this game, and I thought it was going to be like a Silent Hills type deal where they just hype it up and it never really comes out, because they've been in production for this game for a long-ass time. Now, I have no doubt in my mind that this game could be one of the best games of 2017, having come out December 26th. I'm really holding it up to a high standard because Heavy Rain was so great and Beyond was so great. I've been waiting for a game that just, like, grabs you and hits you and is like, here you go, motherfucker, like, your choices really do matter, because I've played Telltale games, you know, I've played, like, Life is Strange, games like that, and all of the choices, I feel like they don't really fucking matter. Like, you do something, but ultimately you get the same ending. And so for games like Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls and Detroit, having different endings like that are fucking crazy to me. Like, that's wild to me, you know? I'm so big into you get to decide who lives and who dies. That's why I liked Until Dawn so much, because it was kind of like my mission to keep every single character alive. This stupid fucking article saying that Detroit is too violent for them, like, fuck out of here. What do these people think in their minds whenever they're looking at a video game and they're like, oh, it's kind of making me uncomfortable, so I'm triggered, and that should not exist, and Sony should stop making this game. Like, just stop it altogether, rewrite it, bitch. Who do you think you are to tell an artist what their art needs to be like just because you're fucking offended? It's the exact same reason why 13 Reasons Why got criticized, because they were like, oh, you're putting us into this uncomfortable position talking about suicide. But the thing is that all of these things need to be talked about, or else there's no circulation that these things are happening. Like, how are you gonna get mad at a fucking fictional fucking video game? Like, it's not real. It's not real. Oh my god, it's for entertainment. How do you get kicks out of fucking, seeing a kid get killed by her father? You don't. Most players don't fucking get their kicks out of watching that shit. That's not what happens. If I saw that, you know what that would do? That would fucking emotionally scar me. Would I find it entertaining? Yeah, but it's like, that's not the focus. The story, the narrative, that is the focus of all of these games, is to show you that things like this do fucking happen, and it's not something that you should shy away from. I can't. You know, I kind of want to just digress, and I want to calm myself, but, like, I'm so tired of the media being such a little bitch about everything. Some people in the media, especially the big guys, the big dogs, they want to jump on anything that offends them, and it's like everything offends them. Do you think they watched Tyler, the Creator's video where he, you know, what does he do? He, like, eats a cockroach and then kills himself or something? Like, do they get mad about that? They probably do. Honestly, if you don't like the game, you don't have to play it. If you don't like where the game goes, if you don't like it from the trailer, don't fucking play it. Who are you to say that people can't play this game, or that this game shouldn't be made like this, or that they should rework this? That's their piece of art. I really don't get it. And if they fuck with Detroit after putting out that heavy of a trailer, I'm gonna be so upset. Just don't fuck with the storyteller's game. This is a storyteller's game. Are you guys gonna be policing books next? Policing short films? Policing movies? If you guys are gonna get pissed off about Detroit, get pissed off about Get Out. Calling the game sick and repulsive because it shows a girl getting killed by her father, that is something that happens quite often. More often than you would think it happens. And you're telling me you want to censor it because it's disgusting? Have you not seen the news at all? Like, they talk about that shit on the news, but you don't find people calling the news sick and repulsive. I'm really sticking up for this game because I care a lot about it. You know, I care about the developers. I care about the game in general because they've made some of the best games I've ever fucking played in my lifetime. I'm gonna title this video, like, Stupid Nerd Gets Upset Over Video Game.